Hello everybody, today I'll be showing you how to hack any single Flash game on the internet. Today specifically will be about Raise 2. So Raise 2 is one of my favorite games playing as a child, but also that it encompasses a lot of things. So today's topic will kind of cover how to reverse engineer, right? Kind of read code, my methodologies doing that. Going past any paywalls. Some Flash games have paywalls as well as editing the save files. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So first thing we need to do, first of all, we need this. So this is called the JPEXS free Flash decompiler. It's free, it's open source, and it's the go-to program for doing these types of things, right? Additionally, you will also need a Flash player, right? So I use the Newgrounds player. You just simply go to Newgrounds and download their player. So I have that, or any Flash player works. And then the third thing is that obviously you'll need internet access, and the reason is because we'll be using an online website that actually allows us to edit save files. So first things first, we need to actually go ahead and download the SWF or Flash game. So in specifically Armor games, you can just go to right click, just click on View Page Source, and just type in .swf. And as we can see here, the first result is the Armor games file. Other websites might be a little bit different, but in general, for Armor games, or any game out there, this is how you do it. So we're just going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to start downloading the actual game itself, right, to our local computer. So I'll just go ahead and click on this. And then it's going to say it's harmful, but just go ahead and keep it. And then I'm going to open the folder. Hit refresh. I'm actually going to rename it because it keeps things organized in my folder. I'm going to kind of explain how the save files work, how the organizational structure works later on. But for now, let's just call it Raise to New, and then just call it Raise whatever. If this is your first time doing this, you can just keep it as is. I just like to rename things so it keeps things organized for myself. So we're going to go ahead and actually just test to see if it actually is the file. It's generally a good idea to test to see if you have the correct thing. So we're going to open it. And as you can see here, it starts loading. It starts playing the introduction. So I'm just going to let the main menu load so that we can verify that this actually is correct and doesn't crash or anything like that. Okay. So it looks correct. So we're just going to go ahead and exit that. And then now to start actually reverse engineering and start actually hacking, we just have to open it. So I know it's going to be in our downloads folder. This is why I want to keep everything organized. So the one we named was Raise 2 New 1. So just go ahead and open that. And you're going to see a screen similar to this. Now, when you're doing Flash game hacking, typically the scripts, all of the code, how things work will be delved into the scripts folder, right? So we just go ahead and click on that. Sometimes it doesn't, most of the times it does. Some games work a little bit differently they just put a bunch of code in the sprites, so all the images as well. But generally speaking, for people or established people who've done hacking, Flash development, for a while, we'll have things separate, right? So going through this, and now in Raise, it's basically a 2D shooter. So basically meaning, it's you, the player, right? And then there's other opponents, right? Bots. It's not a multiplayer game that, you have the objective to win, whether it be capture the flag, shoot, killing as many people as you can, or if it's like a certain amount. Either way, one of the things when it comes to Raise 2 hacking specifically is how to get unlimited health, right? So when enemies shoot you, you don't die. Infinite ammo, right? So you don't have to reload or pick up any guns to refill that magazine. But first things first, we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can find the unlimited health. So kind of my methodology when you're finding these is just kind of scrolling through these files, reading it briefly. If it doesn't have a variable like health or HP, I just kind of skip it. And it's very brief, right? And reading these files, you can kind of assume what it means. So let's say AI, it means that the bots, right? BH, some of these names you don't really know, but just kind of reading through these, you can kind of see, or just kind of briefly read what that code does. So what I'm going to be doing first is doing the unlimited health, right? Let's see here. So maybe we can go to menu. Maybe it's in a thing called player, right? It's a very good name. Player extends unit. So maybe it's not there. Now, I've already done this before, so I know where it is. It's in the status class, right? So the status class basically has like HP current, right? That's the current HP, it's a good name for it. But when you scroll down and look at the methods, right? So ActionScript 3 is extremely similar to JavaScript. So you can kind of read it as if it was like that. Or excuse me, Java, not JavaScript. But reading through these, we find a function called damage. So again, with reverse engineering, it's really just about reading code until you kind of see how it works. I've already done that. So I know that the function damage is when a unit itself takes damage, right? So it can either be the current player, your team, or your enemy. So going through this function here, we just have to see where it's like HP cur, right? And like a minus equals sign. So that's basically when it subtracts, right? So you take the damage, it subtracts from your current health, right? So that's kind of the things that we're looking for here. And then we'll obviously edit that to be able to make sure that you are invincible, right? It doesn't do it for you. So kind of scrolling down, searching through for a minus equals, anything like that. Okay. So we see HP cur minus equals param1. So we can just kind of assume, right? I mean, again, I've already done this before, so I know that that's the damage that you take. So HP cur minus equals param1. So, and then if you can kind of read on, if your current HP is less than 0, then, you die, right? So going to this, we can just set it to where, anytime, you as the player is getting hit, right, don't subtract it, right? Or in code logic, we can just say if it's not the current human, then run this code, right? Subtract for everyone else but the current human. So if we look a little bit more deeply here, so you can see a code where it's like if unit dot human, right? So you can just kind of assume that it means the current player. Again, reading it more in other parts of the code, you'll come to the conclusion like, yes, this is the current player, right? So all we need to do here now is just say, we can click on Edit ActionScript, and we can just say if unit.human. Okay. All right, click on Save. Okay. So basically, again, as I kind of explained before, if the unit is not human, let's see, where was that line of code again? Okay, there. If unit is not the human, so basically anyone else, then you take damage, right? So basically, the damage function, it takes in the actual unit itself, as we can see here. So anytime, if it's like unit.team, unit.enemy, or anything at all, then, if it's not the human, if it's not the player, then don't take damage. Anything else, you take damage, right? So to test to see if this actually works, just go ahead and click on Save. It's going to compile, right? Okay, once that's done loading, let's go ahead and open up Newgrounds and then load the actual player. So we can see it's edited today. And let's just test to see if we actually get invulnerability. Okay, we'll just go ahead and go into a quick match. We're going to bump the difficulty up to insane. All right, let's just see if we can find any enemies here. Okay, there we go. There's something here. So they're shooting me. I'm not taking any damage, but when I shoot them, they are taking damage, right? So I'm invincible, basically. So we know that the code worked. Now, as you can see in that example, when I, was pressing the shoot button, right, mouse, my ammo decreased. So one of the other hacks that is popular in this type of genre is unlimited ammo. So let's go ahead and try to do that, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of continue on like our current methodology, which is just kind of seeing through these files, seeing what you can edit. So the guns looks interesting, right? Because, obviously that's where the ammo is. And let's just kind of roll through. So we do see a variable called ammo. So let's just go ahead and just kind of read through the code here. See, again, I'm kind of scrolling through. Basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for a code that's anytime you click, right, then you just minus equals, right? So we're kind of looking for those two things as well. So set guns, that's obviously not going to be it. Add clip, right, that's not going to be it. Reloaded, doesn't look like it. Release mouse. Okay, so release mouse, it looks something like that. Looks a little bit suspicious, so let's just go to the next function. There's obviously nothing there. Let's see. Oh, okay. So we can see a line here where it says ammo and then current number dot cur, right? Minus equals 1, right? Or if it uses extra ammo, we can just assume like per every, anytime you shoot, it's gonna subtract 4, right? So in that case, it'll subtract, whatever that amount is. But let's go ahead and just keep looking and kind of explain, or kind of just see how that works. So in race specifically, you're going to have a lot of different guns. So it's not just the pistol. It's not, you can just pick up random guns, whether it be a rifle, a sniper, etc. So what this means is that whatever is in the ammo array, right? And then whatever number it is. So it could be 1 for pistol, 2 for, the Uzi, right? 3 for the rifle, and then dot current, right? So dot current ammo, because there's the magazine and the current ammo, then you subtract 1. Now we can also look at this line right here. If the gun uses credits, right? So we can assume that current gun dot extra, it's basically just a sub variable that says, hey, that tells more information about the gun, right? Whether it be use credits or it uses, however much ammo, then, remove credits, but otherwise, remove the actual ammo. So going back to our previous conclusion about not, if the unit was human, if the actual player, right? Because the last thing we want to do is we want to have the bots have infinite ammo, right? What we can do is the exact same thing. So if the unit is not a human, right, remove the ammo, right? If it is human, just keep the ammo, don't do anything, right? The ammo is going to be the exact same. So we can actually do the exact same thing here. We just go to if not unit.human. And then I'm just going to go ahead and encapsulate all of the code right here, right? Gonna go ahead and click on save. And then to actually run it, you actually need to click save here. So it starts saving. And then now, just as a test, let's just go ahead and open up the Newgrounds player and see what it is. So based on my edits so far, we should be invincible and have infinite ammo. So just go ahead and load it up. Okay, let's just go ahead and do a quick match. Okay, let's just go in here. So the ammo is shown in the bottom left-hand corner. So as you can see, they're shooting me. I'm not taking any damage, so the previous files is saved. But anytime I shoot, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, the ammo is not going down. So each little bar is like one ammo, but as you can see, it's not going down. I never have to reload, and I have infinite ammo, right? But all of the other bots, because we did the not, if the unit was not human, they have to reload, right? So as you can see, that kind of brief guy right there, he was reloading. This bot is reloading. I can shoot him. He's going to die, but I'm not going to take any damage, right? All right, so that save worked. The next thing that I want to show you guys, right? Obviously, reverse engineering, it's kind of a lengthy process. I've really just kind of shortened it for you guys, is how to get passed through a certain paywall, right? So Flash games, it'll be like, use certain amount of, you want to buy credits to go in the shop. For Rays, it's a little bit different. So, when I was playing, right, when you can connect to the internet, now it's not the case anymore. You can actually buy these packs, right, when you go to the armory. But if it's local, it doesn't show this, right? And I'm going to show you guys in the code where that is exactly, where you can actually purchase it. But because we have this saved on our local file, we can obviously just somehow, some way bypass it, right? Just because it's on a local computer, we can just edit it, and now we have the contents of whatever premium contents there are, right? So this one's a little bit more trickier, just because it's not as obvious as status and guns. But if we go to certain files here, let's go to the menu class, excuse me. And if we kind of scroll down a little bit, we can see, okay, that you can, okay, so it says Alien Campaign here. It's the SD.achievements. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the code that I was looking for, where it says purchase done. Again, I've already done this before, so I kind of know where it is already. But as you can see here, where if it says like recruit enabled, then it'll say, recruit pack purchase complete. Thank you for purchasing the pack. The credits have been added to your account, right? And now from the screenshot before, we can show that there's 3 different, right? So this is the legendary pack. This is the epic pack, but the one we want is the highest pack, right? So as you can see, it matches here, the recruit, the epic, and the legendary. We want the legendary, right? It unlocks all content. So it's right here. So it'll say legendary pack purchase complete. Thank you for purchasing. And then it executes some code, right? So this is the actual code that it's doing once you've purchased it, right? So we can see that it adds 80,000 credits, as you can see here. Or I don't know why it says 90,000, but anyways, it's 80,000 credits. And it'll also unlock these abilities, right? So this is just race specific. There's abilities that you have to buy and purchase with the in-game credit system, but because of the legendary, it unlocks it all right away. Right? So let's go ahead and keep track of that in the menu class line 378. And the other thing I wanted to show you guys is the SD class. So the SD class is when the game is initially loaded, and then we can confirm this by going to new game, and it'll initialize us with a certain amount of credits. So like 500 credits. It'll say the gun list, guns owned, it's none, right? Equipment's owned, none. But if we go back to the code from before, right, it'll actually initialize these variables, right, with all the content, right, however it's arranged. So let's go back to menu. And as you can see here in the SD class, right, that's where it's going to, right? So we just go to the SD class. It'll initialize these ones as unlocking like all the content, right? So what we can do is on load, we can actually, essentially copy, paste this code into the SD class itself, right? So so this function here, new game, is called whenever there's no save file, right? There's no save file, there's nothing in here. So what we can do is just simply copy paste the code from the menu where it unlocks all premium content and just paste it right here. So let me just go ahead and do that right now. So menu, we'll just go ahead and copy this. Okay. Now we're going to go to the SD class here. Edit. Now I'm going to add it to the very end just to keep things organized. And because we're in the SD class already, we don't need these SD dots. So we can just actually delete this. We can delete this line as well, just because it's not pertaining to this class. So we can say purchase 3 plus plus. Actually, what did I do? Okay, yeah. Okay, delete this SD. Equips owned. We don't need to call the save game because it's going to do that automatically. And then we don't want to play any sounds. Okay. So we just go ahead and click on save here. And let's see. Click on save. All right. Now, because I said before, if you look at this SD class, that code will only be initialized or only be executed if there's a new save file, right? So what we have to do is we need to delete the save from our local drive, right? So it's somewhere it's stored, and then relaunch the game, and then we can check if we have 8,000 some credits, right? 80,500. And then we can check if we own all of the abilities, all the guns, all the skins, so on and so forth. So to do that, we'll need to navigate towards our, our Flash saves folder. So for me, I've already have it pinned just to have it as easy access. But for you, it'll be, let's just go to app data. Right, so you can just type in, or let me just show you actually how to navigate it. So just type in %, app data, %, and then it'll be in roaming. Now it'll be in macro media. Click on Flash Player, click on shared objects, and click on the only folder available. Click on local host, I believe, users, and then this one right here, and then you click on downloads, right? And then this is all of the save files, right? So if you didn't, let me just go ahead and repeat that. That was in app data, roaming. You click on macro media, Flash Player, and then shared objects, and then the random name it gives you, local host, users, and then whatever your name is, and then it's in the download section here. So as you can see, I have a lot of Flash game files that I've edited and hacked. But let's just go to the one where it was, I believe, raise to new 1. So the most recent one here. So there is a file here, right? So in order to initialize this code that we just executed, right, we have to delete this, right? So all we have to do is just delete it. Oops. Just hit delete. And let's reinitialize the game and just see if it works. All right, so load, raise to new 1, open, And this kind of segues into editing the save files, right? Now that we know where it's located, we can obviously edit them as well. And obviously with Raise 2 specifically, if you're looking to hack Raise 2, I should have said this earlier, you don't need this, right? Just because and later on, I'm going to show you how to edit the save file so that you can have effectively infinite credits, right? And infinite credits. So as you can see, the code actually worked. We have 80,500 credits, right? Now let's go to Armory. And as you can see here, the default is like nothing, right? This is kind of how it usually looks minus the 80,000 credits. But if we click on weapons, it says we owned all of them, right? So it says own, click to equip. Usually it would say, purchase here with the credits, right? The in-game credits. But for us, we've bypassed that. And now we own all of the content, right? All the paid content we own. Here, let me just minus the music here. Oh, okay. So as you guys can see here, we edited, we have all the premium content, right? So it's as if we actually purchased it ourselves, even though we typically, we just bypassed it, right? So yeah, we can go ahead and click on these as well as the equipment here, just because, it's part of Raise. It says own, click to equip. Everything is owned, right? We can just click it. So that's kind of how to bypass essentially the paywall, right? Now, let's say, for example, you wanted a lot of credits, right? You wanted the maximum amount of credits you can have. So the credits is actually plus 300 because we achieved something, right? So there's an achievement where you unlock all the content. So we just got that right now. But basically, let's say you wanted more, right? Just for some reason. Again, for Raise 2 specifically, you don't need to unlock the premium content if you have unlimited credits, just because all the content can be unlocked with credits, right? So let's go back here. Let's go ahead and click on Exit. And now this is where we edit our save file. So if we go to Minerva here, we can just click on Open. If we choose the file, let's see, Downloads, Raise 2 1 new. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and link this in the description down below. But basically, it's you just search up Marini Life Flash Editor, and the first result will most likely be it. So going through this, basically what this is anytime the game is loaded, right? This is for any Flash game, right? For Flash games that have save files. It'll load this information specifically, to keep your progress, right? So basically, looking through this, you can see, okay, so there's a variable named credits, right? And it matches, right? So it's 80,800, right? They did the plus 300 because, we achieved something for unlocking all the content, right? But let's just make it super big. So that's 999. Right. Okay. And let's just go ahead and click on Save here. All right, so it's saved. Now what we want to do is just go ahead and delete it. So let's just go ahead and delete this file here. And what I like to do, just because I'm, I'd say, I guess more technical, I'd like to open up a PowerShell, and I just want to confirm everything. But basically, you just you just go to your downloads folder and drag it and drop it. But what I like to do is make sure there's nothing in here. I'll just go to dir/downloads/star.sol, because that is the file. Okay. Now we are going to move the file. So we just say move item -path. We just say this directory, this file, and then dash destination dot for the current folder. Now we type ls, and now as we can see, we just moved a file. But again, if you're not, I guess technical with the PowerShell, you can technically just drag and drop it or copy paste it in a different folder. But if we want to run it again, just to test to see if it works, We click on load, open. Now our credits should be, I believe it was 99,999,999. Let's just see if it loads. Okay, so it did save my music files. And as you can see here, we have 99,999 credits. Now, beyond just credits, we can also use this for certain achievements, right? So maybe you're stuck grinding an achievement. Maybe you're stuck, maybe you just don't want to grind the campaign. As you can see here, it says complete human campaign to unlock. Or let's see, in achievements here, you want to unlock these ones. What you can do here is just simply go back to the file, and I'll just unlock the campaign again. Typically, you would have to read the code and see how it works, and then kind of match the variable name that it modifies and match it to here. But I've already done that, right? So I know it is in camp stage. It's a 0. And as you can tell before, actually, let me just open it up again so that we make sure we click on campaign. And even if only the first level is unlocked, right? So it says beat level 1, 2. So essentially, we only have access to level 1, and we don't have access to the alien campaign itself. So we just go ahead and type 30 here, right? Because there is 30 levels. Again, this is more so race specific, but I'm just showing you guys how you can edit the save file and kind of, essentially guess, or if you want to be more accurate, you can actually look at the code to see how it works. So just click on save. So we should have all of the campaigns unlocked here. So I'm going to go back to our folder where it has the save file, raise to 1 new. Click on delete and open up our PowerShell. Now we type ls to confirm that it has deleted. It doesn't show anything, right? So we just say move item. And then we type ls again. Okay, now it should be moved. So let's just go here. Now we should have all of the campaign unlocked. Again, if you're less technical, all you have to do is just drag and drop the file that you downloaded and then move it. I just like to do it from the console just because for me it's slightly faster. But if we go to campaign, as you can see here, now the human and alien campaign is unlocked, right? So you can imagine the kind of possibilities you can use with just the save file itself. I mean, you don't even need to reverse engineer to have infinite credits, right? For the infinite health, yes, you do, just because it's functioning in game. But anything that can be saved locally or that is saved locally, such as like your settings, like campaign, maybe it's premium content, right? Maybe there's a variable for premium content. If the variable is true and it's actually saved to the save file, well, now you can access. You really just have to look at the code and kind of read how it works. And it might take a while. It might take a long time. It's faster than this because I've already done it, right? Just for explanation purposes. So we can access every single level here. If we go to alien, we can access everything here. And then you can do the same thing with like achievements. Same thing with the armory. I believe there's like skins here. Yeah, CC, or actually no. the premium, unlocking, bypassing the premium content already unlocked that. But hopefully that was helpful, guys. Learning how to hack Flash games using the Flash decompiler, as well as maybe if you're less versed, just editing the save files for like unlimited credits, or maybe it's like progression to level. You want to beat the final level, but there's an intermediate like level in between. You can just go ahead and unlock it. And really, just a big part of reverse engineering is guessing and checking. But other than that, I hope it was helpful. That is how you hack any single Flash game. I have hacked numerous Flash games in the past. As you can see in my folder here, there's a lot of games that I've hacked. So I'll link a GitHub or maybe a repository where I link all of my hacked Flash games. That way you don't have to go through this process yourself and just use the games that I've hacked already. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it's educational. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.